let's take a look at our top selections for Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the feature race at Belmont on Saturday. It's $100,000. Let's take a look at the field for the Seek Again Stakes. Race number 9. We're going a mile on the Widener turf. Intriguing race, Mike, because Decorated Invader, the number 7, on his best day, has a tremendous closing kick. He's sort of been stuck at that mid to low 90s level now for like 6-7 races in a row. Do you think the upside is still there for Decorated Invader?
Yeah, I'd be willing to hold out a little bit more hope for him, Dan. I mean, this is only going to be a second start as a 4-year-old. I think if we're going to get improvement from him, we're going to get it, from here going forward, I would think. It's at least worth pointing out. They went a lot longer with him last year because you have to with the good 3-year-olds. He probably doesn't want to go that far. And, personally speaking, I didn't think he got a great trip off the layoff last time.
Let's throw up the Timeform US Pace Projector because the 5 Get Smokin' is very, very dangerous when he gets a situation like this. We saw that at Tampa Bay 2 starts back when he was up close to the pace and he kicked on home to win a graded stake. Now, last time out in the Maker's Mark, he just got caught up in a very fast-paced duel with Some Like It Hot Brown, who came back to win the dinner party last week with a 96 buyer at Pimlico. If Get Smokin' gets loose, he could get brave.
Yeah, he's a dangerous horse in this race. The mile feels like it's about as far as he wants to go. He's always dangerous when he gets the lead because, as we've seen several times already, Dan, when he's in front in the stretch, he's not a horse who just, gives things up willingly. He'll make you fight for it. If he gets loose, he's a dangerous horse in here.
Epic Dreamer took a step forward last time out, returning to the turf as a first-time gelding for Marcassi. Let's watch that race going a mile. He showed off his tactical speed in this race. He made a 3-wide bid on the turn. He takes over the lead. He finishes it off in solid fashion. It was a step in the right direction for a horse, again, that has the tactical speed to get close to the pace. Now he has to prove he's a stakes horse.
Yeah, he's going to face a much tougher field here. He's not beating a great field here at Tampa, Dan, but he did run well in this race. I'll give him the credit he deserves for it. He got a great trip. I feel like he really did take a step forward, too, because his first turf start at the end of last year, and that was a good allowance field, he didn't run well at all in that race, but he ran a lot better last time.
Tiberius Mercurius, the number 2. This seems like a difficult spot. He's still eligible for a non-winners of 2 life, and he was beaten 5 lengths by one of the major contenders, Delaware, in the Danger's Hour last time out. Might need a little bit of a pace collapse.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem like he's going to be really competitive in here, Dan. This is a really good field, and he faced a couple of these horses last time. He really didn't do anything in that race. He didn't have any excuse that I could see. He just wasn't good enough.
Tell Your Daddy was claimed by the very sharp Tom Morley 2 starts back for $40,000. They ran him in the Elusive Quality, and I thought all things considered, he ran pretty well against a decent field. I like him actually getting back out to a mile, and he's another horse that can adapt to the pace scenario. No real excuses in the Elusive Quality. They weren't going very fast, but it was a nice effort.
Oh, that was some performance he came through with last time. He was 60-1 in that race. He got right up close to the pace. He would not give an inch through the stretch. I mean, he was dueling with some really good horses in there, and he just got out finished at the end. This horse ran very well last time.
Danny California has entered main track only. So we'll move on to Get Smokin' going out for Tom Bush. And again, this horse is a multiple graded stakes winner who just was beaten by circumstances. I think last time out in the Makers 46, he never got a breather.
No, it's just probably too tough a spot anyway. The pace did not help his chances at all. I thought he ran well when he won that grade 3 2 starts back. Without the lead, Dan, he got a good trip in there, but he conceded to another horse and still won the race. And he has a win over Decorated Invader going a mile on this turf course as well. So there's a lot to like about this horse, and it feels like he's going to be a fair price once again with all the other alternatives in this race.
Delaware, the number 6, has been a bit of an in and outer for Chad Brown. He got his in race last time out in the Danger's Hour. Let's watch that effort. Lasix off. The horse on the lead, Rinaldi, set a pretty legitimate pace, and we see Delaware now swinging to the outside. He saved ground early under Manny Franco. This is a pretty strong kick for Delaware. He's the kind of horse where, I can understand anyone saying, let's see it again. He rarely puts back-to-back races together. Maybe he's found himself with Lasix-free racing in New York.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he has, Dan. I'll be interested to see if he can back this race up. To me, this was, sort of the best race that he's ever run, at least since he's gotten over here, and it wasn't even close. I mean, he looked like he was going to win this race from a long way out. Once he got clear in the stretch, he came with a really strong kick in there to close that race down. I don't know if he can do that again, but if this is what Delaware is now, he's going to be a handful right back in this race.
Decorated Invader has always hinted at immense potential since he won the Grade 1 Summer Stakes at Woodbine as a 2-year-old. Let's talk a little bit about his effort off the layoff in the Danger's Hour, Mike, because I agree that trip was pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah, it just didn't work out for him. I mean, I think you could question whether he was going to beat Delaware in that spot anyway, considering the race that horse ran. But I mean, you can just go back and watch that replay, which we just showed you the stretch run of. This horse was stuck in behind horses all the way around the turn. He never got a chance to get clear. It wasn't until they got into the upper stretch and Delaware had already blown by the field that this horse finally got out into the clear. And you could see Junior Alvarado at that point didn't even ride. I mean, knew he wasn't getting anything. He just let him finish third all on his own. He did not run. It wasn't as disappointing as it looks last time, Dan. This horse is a lot better than that. And with a better trip, he could run a much stronger race this time.
And he might be even tighter for his second start of the year. Olympic Runner is an underrated horse for Mark Casse. Don't think he ran terribly last time out in the elusive quality. Not a lot of pace. I think it was fair enough, though, and he was coming at the end. Really, his only bad race in his last few came in the Muniz 2 starts back, where he ran against one of the divisional leaders in Colonel Liam. At a distance, it's probably a little far for him.
Yeah, probably a little far. That race didn't set up at all for this horse either, who to me wants to sit and make one run. They went a very slow pace in that Muniz. To me, he had no chance in that race. He ran fine last time, I guess. To me, more than maybe any other horse in the race, Dan, this horse is very pace dependent. I feel like he's one who really needs some racing to go on in front of him so he can have his best chance.
Yankee Division, the 9, also entered main track only like Danny California. So we'll move to the 10, Flavius. And as we take a look at our top picks in this race, that's where you're going to go. And Flavius, I think, was a little bit compromised by the way the race shaped up last time out in the Kilrow. Not a very fast pace up front. I like that he was able to stay close. He was wide. He turned for home. He was only beaten a length. This is a horse, I think, that prefers to be taken back and make one run. And I think the pace should at least be honest for him here.
Yeah, I feel like he can get a better trip this time. I mean, he ran fine the Kilrow last time. I felt like he had a fair shot at it in the stretch. He did his best there trying to drive it down. He just couldn't quite get there against a really good field. I thought that performance was fine. I really liked the way he started to get going at the end of last year, Dan. The Kentucky Downs race where he ran, the big figure. That race can be hard to evaluate, I guess, just because it came over that turf course. But I thought he ran better than it looks in the Shadwell when he got in a little bit tight in the stretch and it was too late by the time he got clear. And he ran great at Del Mar at the end of the year, too. I mean, he was wide every step of the way there, and it took a good horse to run him down at the end.
Top pick time for the Seek Again Stakes. Mike, you're going with the number 10, Flavius. Finished ahead of 2 next out winners in that Kilrow. One of them came back to win with a 108 buyer on dirt. A 2-1 on the morning line. What do you need in order to play him?
Yeah, I don't think I'd be taking him at 2-1, Dan. I just feel like he's the horse to beat in here. I feel like this is a real wide open kind of race. I think a lot of different horses can win. I flirted with putting Get Smokin' on top because I think he's going to be on the front and he's probably still a little underrated. But I, chalked it out with Flavius. I like this horse's recent form.
I'm curious to see if Delaware can make it back-to-back. He hasn't been able to do it throughout his career, but I was really taken with the way he finished last time out. And I think he'll still be at least a playable price in here. 6-3, 10-1 for me, 10-5, 6-7 for Mike. It's the Seek Again Stakes, the feature at Belmont on Saturday afternoon. Good luck.